Hey gang, welcome back. This week we have another EDH gameplay lined up. Our champions for this week are me playing Prossh, Evil Adam playing his Derevi deck, Adam playing his Momir Vig deck, and Fred playing Ezuri Claw of Progress. For openers, I kept Dragonskull Summit, Blood Crypt, Kessig Wolfrun, Chromatic Lantern, Sylvan Scrying, Cultivate, and Overwhelming Stampede. Adam kept a hand with 3 islands, a forest, Guiltleaf Archdruid, Brainstorm, and Back from the Brink. Fred's hand consisted of Bane of Progress, Counterspell, Essence Warden, Glenelinger Archmage, Mystic Snake, Island, and Flooded Grove. Evil Adam, who isn't really evil but more or less just misunderstood, kept a hand with Marsh Flats, Eldritch Evolution, Polluted Delta, Spawning Pit, Gavany Township, Command Tower, and Avacyn's Pilgrim. I win the die roll, so let's begin. My first turn sees a Blood Crypt come into play tapped. I pass to Evil Adam. Evil Adam has an explosive start, playing Command Tower, then tapping Command Tower to play Avacyn's Pilgrim. He passes to Fred. Fred plays Flooded Grove, and passes to Adam. Adam plays an Island, and passes to me. I play a Dragonskull Summit, and pass to Evil Adam. Adam plays a Marsh Flats, cracking it for a land, and then taps out to cast Derevi. He untaps Avacyn's Pilgrim. He then swings that Pilgrim at me for giving him such a hard time in the last video. Fred plays an Island, then taps the 2 lands to cast Essence Warden because he can't get green otherwise. With not a care in the world, Adam casts Brainstorm at the end of Fred's turn. He plays Temple of Mystery, scrying the top card to the bottom. He passes to me. I play Urborg, Tomb of Yawgmoth, giving everyone swamps because I'm a nice guy. Using my now 3 lands, I cast Chromatic Lantern, giving me some green finally. Evil Adam plays Polluted Delta for his turn, cracking it to go find a land, but he doesn't find it first. No, instead he plays Spawning Pit, making my editing job much harder. He moves to combat, swinging Derevi at Fred and Avacyn's Pilgrim at other Adam. Using Derevi's triggers, he untaps both of his creatures. Fred plays an Island and passes to Adam. Blue mages with untapped mana, that's not scary, right? Adam plays an Island and passes to me. For my turn, I finally draw a forest, play it, and then cast Cultivate, finding another forest and a land to my hand. I then cast Green Sun Zenith for 1, finding Deathrite Shaman. Evil Adam plays a Plains for his turn, then casts Wild Growth on it. He moves to combat, swinging Derevi at Fred again for 2. At the end of Evil Adam's turn, Fred, in retaliation, casts Beast Within on Spawning Pit. For Fred's turn, he sees a forest come into play, then casts Ezuri Claw of Progress. He gains 1 life from Ezuri coming into play, and I realize now that we missed a bunch of triggers during that game. Adam plays an Island, then evokes Mulldrifter. Drawing his 2 cards, he has to discard before passing to me. I play Kessig Wolfrun for my land, and then cast Prossh. Because I'm a nice guy, I remind Fred that 7 creatures have come into play, so he gains 7 life. Exiling Evil Adam's Polluted Delta and tapping my Chromatic Lantern, I cast Sylvan Scrying to go find Shizo, Death's Storehouse. With nothing else to do, I passed Evil Adam. Evil Adam plays Gavany Township for his land. He casts Seedborn Muse, which works really well in tandem with Gavany Township. Moving to combat, he swings Derevi back at Fred, and swings a Beast at Adam. Using his Derevi triggers, he untaps 2 lands. During his second main phase, he casts Eldritch Evolution on Derevi, finding up to a 5 cost. While I'm searching, I take the time to remind Fred that he gained 1 off this, and Adam finds Gilded Drake, stealing my Prossh. Evil Adam's turn done, he passes to Fred. Fred plays Windswept Heath for his turn. He cracks it and takes 3, finding Breeding Pool and coming into play untapped. Bloom Tender hits the field, and Fred gains another life. Going to his combat phase, Fred puts the 1/1 counter on his Essence Warden. He doesn't declare attacks and instead passes his turn. At the end of Fred's turn, Adam brings in Derevi, untapping the Plains with Wild Growth, and then taps that and 3 other lands plus Gavany Township to put those counters on the creatures like we knew he would. Adam casts Preordain. He puts both cards on top and draws. Having played a land, drawn a card, he passes to me. I play a forest for my land. I cast Diabolic Intent, sacrificing one of my poor little kobolds. My guilt lasts for all about 5 seconds, and I go find a card. I cast the card I find, which just so happens to be Damnation, which I guarantee won't be in Kaladesh. With everyone threatening to counter any spells that Evil Adam might cast, all the creatures get to go to the graveyard, and because I'm a really nice guy, I help Evil Adam put them there. Afterwards, I decide I don't like having an empty board, so I cast Bitter Blossom. At the end of my turn, we see Derevi come back, and with some fancy manipulation of lands, gets a 1/1 counter. For his land, Evil Adam plays a Plains, and tries to cast Aura Shards, which Fred promptly counters. He casts Cold-Eyed Selkie. At this point, pretty upset that he lost his Aura Shards, he swings the 3-power Derevi at Fred. Evil Adam untaps Derevi and passes to Fred. At this point, Evil Adam gets kind of mad that he's getting hated on, and he points out that Adam's sitting in the corner doing nothing. Liking how Evil Adam thinks, Fred casts his Cold Eye Selkie of his own. He passes to Adam. Adam's turn sees Sages of the Anima come into play, an interesting card for sure. He passes to me. On my upkeep, I lose a life and get a 1/1 fairy. I play Rookbound Crag for my turn, and decide to recast Prossh. With nothing else, I pass to Evil Adam. Drawing a card, and being set back super badly from that board wipe, Adam casts the only card he has in hand, Consecrated Sphinx. That's not a bad card to cast. Going to combat, Evil Adam swings Derevi at Fred, who at this point I'm sure knows the way blindfolded, and also swings the Cold Eye Selkie at Adam, drawing a card. Using his triggers, he untaps Command Tower and the Plains with Wild Growth on it. He plays the Tundra he draws off Cold Eye Selkie, and passes to Fred. Unfortunately for the table, no one is able to kill Consecrated Sphinx before Fred draws, netting Evil Adam 2 cards. For his turn, Fred plays a Forest, then casts Ezuri. He moves to combat, assigning the 1/1 counter to his Cold Eye Selkie. He swings it at Evil Adam, dealing 2 and drawing 2 cards, but this nets Evil Adam 4 cards. He passes to Adam. Thankfully, Sage of Anima allows Adam to draw a creature card in the form of Cuddle? I don't know, I'm sure you'll correct me in the comments, but it doesn't allow Sphinx to trigger, that's the important thing. Further adding to his board, Adam casts Momir Vig. He passes to me. On my upkeep, I lose another 1 and I get another fairy. I play a mountain for my turn and then cast Beastmaster's Ascension. Evil Adam, putting the evil in his name, casts Mana Drain on it. But that's okay, you wanna know why? Because that was a bait card. I sacrifice my 2 fairies to Prossh, making him a 7/5, and cast Overwhelming Stampede, which you all know I've had in my hand since turn 0. Stampede resolves, making all of my creatures get +7/+7 and have trample, which is awesome. Moving to combat, I swing 3 tokens at Evil Adam, 3 tokens at Fred, and 2 tokens and Prossh at Adam. With nothing else, I pass to Evil Adam. Evil Adam plays Gaia's Cradle for his turn, then using some of the mana for Mana Drain and 2 of his lands, he casts Biden of Thassa. Tapping Gaia's Cradle, he casts Utopia Sprawl on Savannah. Not wanting to waste his mana, he uses the rest of it to use Gavany Township, putting a 1/1 counter on all his creatures. Having committed everything to my attack, Evil Adam swings in, smashing me in the face for 11. He draws a ton of cards. Using his triggers, he untaps 2 lands and Consecrated Sphinx. His second main phase sees Angel of Finality hit the field, exiling my graveyard. For Fred's turn, having seen how good Biden of Thassa is, he cross and grips it during his main phase. He then casts Wood Elves and goes and finds a forest. Skullclamp decides to join the party after that. Moving to combat, Fred puts the counters on Cold Eyed Selkie and swings it at Evil Adam. He chooses not to draw, which is a good thing. For Adam's draw, he gets to replace his draw with the Sages of the Anima trigger. He gets 2 creatures to his hand. Paying 3 mana and 2 life, Adam casts Birthing Pod. He uses his 2 remaining mana to pot away Sage, finding a 6-drop. He finds Bane of Progress, nuking all the enchantments and artifacts on the field. For my turn, I move straight to combat, swinging all of my creatures at Evil Adam. Evil Adam chooses to block by putting Consecrated Sphinx and Angel of Finality in front of Prossh. In response, I sacrifice 6 of my kobolds, making Prossh an 11/5. Not finished, I use Kessig Wolfrun to pump up one of my 0/1 kobolds, making it a 7/1. At the end of combat, Evil Adam's down 7 life, Prossh is dead, but so is Sphinx and so is Angel. Passing my turn, I am alarmed at how large Evil Adam's hand size is. At the end of my turn, Evil Adam casts Elodrami's Call. He finds Elesh Norn, which is super for me right now. Evil Adam's first main phase sees Edric, Spymaster of Trest, hit the field. Immediately after, Elesh Norn joins the party, which kills a lot of the board. He moves to combat, swinging the Cold-Eyed Selkie at Adam, and swings Derevi at the only target she's had this entire game, Fred. As a result of the damage, he untaps 2 lands and draws 6 cards. He casts Cultivate in his second main phase and passes to Fred. For Fred's turn, he casts Glenelendra Archmage, who comes in, dies, comes back, dies, but triggers Ezuri twice. Moving to combat, he puts the counters on Cold-Eyed Selkie, but Adam casts Swords to Plowshares on it. Not believing that he can fight back from this, Fred scoops. For Adam's turn, he misses his land drop and instead has to cast Phyrexian Metamorph, copying Elesh Norn. Moving to combat, Adam swings his Bane of Progress at Evil Adam, who in turn chumps block with Edric. For my turn, Hall the Bandit Lord comes and play tap, and I choose not to cast Prossh for 10 mana to get a 1/1 that does nothing. I pass to Evil Adam. For Evil Adam's main phase, he casts Reconnaissance, and follows it up with an Academy Rector. Helm of Possession joins the party, and it's pretty clear that we're gonna lose. Paying 2 mana and sacrificing Academy Rector, who in turn gets exiled to find an enchantment, Evil Adam brings out True Conviction. Oh yeah, plus he takes a Bane of Progress, which I guess is kind of important. Our life totals being what they were, we both decide that we're dead and move on to the next game. So that was a pretty interesting game, I think. I thought I was going to win pretty much from the get-go, but it was very clear that I wasn't in a controlling position once I board wiped. I think my problem was I was too confident and I had really poor threat assessment. I broke my cardinal rule, which is whenever I play with Evil Adam, he has to die first, otherwise we all die. Please don't misunderstand this as criticism for Derevi, it's not that. Whenever Evil Adam plays a deck, he's usually going to play it really well. He's a good Magic player, and that's what he does. Had I attacked him with all of my tokens and Prossh, it would have taken him out early, but he did a really good job of convincing me that he wasn't the biggest issue. I mean, if you look at it, Adam above us was just sort of sitting there, drawing cards and playing lands. A point I'd like to highlight is when I was about to cast Damnation. Evil Adam had said he was going to counter it, but then both Adam and Fred said they would counter his counterspells. Not only did this give Evil Adam free information, it also allowed him to save a counterspell for a more important time, like when he mana drained later on. I think this is a really important element to EDH. It highlights how in a social element of a game, you're able to sort of get extra information you might not otherwise get in a 1v1. I think the game also really highlighted how important card draw is. Evil Adam was able to bounce back after all of that hate from 3 players and still managed to win. It's a shame we didn't see more from Ezuri or Momir Vig, as they're both decks I've played against and I've enjoyed playing against because they're kind of interesting. Momir's a lot of fun tutoring things and drawing them, but so's Ezuri. Being able to turn your little mana dorks into huge beaters later on is always fun. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed it. We had a lot of fun filming it, I had a lot of fun making this, so let's keep this going. As always, thank you all for watching, and please be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe.